All right, so we're diving into something pretty interesting today.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about midline stabilization.
Okay.
Based on this podcast episode that you had sent over to me.
Yeah.
And you know how sometimes, like when you bend over,
Yeah.
you get that like little twinge in your lower back?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this deep dive is all about
Sure.
why that happens and, more importantly, what you can do about it.
Right.
Because midline stabilization really impacts every movement that you make.
It does.
From, working out with weights to just walking down the street.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when we talk about midline stabilization,
Uh-huh.
are we just talking about like having a six-pack?
No.
Like, is that it?
Not at all.
Or is there more to it?
The midline is basically an imaginary line that runs from your head down to your pelvis.
Okay,
And it's really about engaging an entire system of muscles.
got it.
So we're talking about your abs, your obliques, your diaphragm, even some of those deeper muscles that run along your spine. Think of it as your body's central support structure.
Okay.
Everything kind of stems from there.
So it's like how a building needs a strong foundation.
Exactly.
If you don't have it,
Yeah.
things start to crumble.
Things get unstable.
And I'm guessing that can lead to things like, that low back pain we were talking about.
Oh, yeah. That's just the tip of the iceberg.
Is there more to it?
A lot of people don't realize that an unstable midline,
Mm-hmm.
it can actually put you at risk for some more serious issues.
Okay.
So, for example, it
Yeah.
can lead to uneven force distribution during movement,
Right.
which means your lower back might end up
Right.
taking on more stress than it can actually handle.
I see.
And that can lead to things like facet joint irritation,
Wow.
or even in some cases, a disc herniation.
Okay, so that's not good.
Not good.
So this isn't just when you're like hitting the gym, right?
No.
It's like everyday stuff too.
Exactly.
Like if I'm picking up a heavy bag of groceries.
Yeah.
Or like playing with my kids.
Absolutely.
Or even just like sitting at my desk for hours and hours.
All of that, yeah.
That can all be impacted by this.
For sure.
If I'm not engaging my core properly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now I'm starting to see how this is a lot more important
Right.
than I initially thought.
Yeah.
So how do we actually strengthen our midline?
Well, we've established that it's not just about doing crunches.
Right.
So the key here is really understanding
Okay.
the concept of a neutral spine.
Uh-huh.
And this is the optimal position for your spine,
Okay.
where the natural curves are maintained.
Got it.
And learning to find that neutral spine position
Right.
and brace your core muscles while you're maintaining it.
Okay.
That's the real foundation of midline stabilization.
So finding this neutral spine, like, is there a trick to that? Or
Yeah.
how do I know if I'm doing it right?
It's all about lengthening your spine. So imagine someone's gently pulling you up from the crown of your head
I see.
while you maintain a slight inward curve in your lower back.
Okay.
And you should feel those core muscles engage naturally
Got it.
in that position.
Okay. And then what does it mean to brace?
Yeah.
Like when you say brace your core, what do you mean?
Imagine someone is about to give you a gentle nudge in the stomach.
Okay.
Not like a full-on punch or anything like that.
Right.
But the way you naturally tense up to prepare for that,
Yeah.
that's kind of the feeling that we're going for here. It's about
Okay.
creating internal tension.
I see.
Almost like you're trying to inflate a balloon inside your torso to create that stability.
So it's not just about
Right.
squeezing my abs as hard as I can.
No, it's more nuanced than that.
Yeah,
It's
than
about
that.
engaging those deeper muscles, particularly a muscle called the transversus abdominis,
Okay.
which acts like a corset
Oh,
around your midsection. Think of it as drawing your belly button
Uh-huh.
slightly in towards your spine.
Okay.
But you should still be able to breathe normally
Right.
while you maintain that core engagement.
So I shouldn't be holding my breath or anything.
Right, exactly.
Okay, so it's not so much about isolated movements
Yeah.
like we think about crunches, right?
Exactly.
It's more about activating this whole system to support our spine.
It is.
So it's more of a holistic approach
Exactly.
to core strength.
Yeah.
I like that.
And it's about being mindful of your posture
Right.
and engaging those muscles throughout your day,
Not just when I'm working out.
not just when you're working out.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So let's say I'm going about my day, right?
Yeah.
How do I know if I'm bracing correctly?
Okay.
Are there any signs that I'm off track or?
Pay attention to your rib cage and your pelvis.
Okay.
Ideally, they should be stacked on top of each other, creating a straight line
Okay.
from your shoulders to your hips when you look at yourself from the side.
Got it.
So if your ribs are flared out
Okay.
or your pelvis is tilted forward,
Right.
that's a sign you might not be maintaining that neutral spine.
And I need to re-engage my core.
And you need to re-engage.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So I should be constantly checking in.
Exactly. It takes practice.
Okay.
But over time,
Yeah.
it becomes second nature.
I can imagine.
And the benefits are worth the effort.
So we've talked about how it can prevent some negative things from happening, like pain. But what about some positives?
Sure.
How does a strong midline actually enhance movement?
Well, think about it this way. When your core is stable, it acts like this solid base from which your limbs can generate power.
Okay.
So imagine like a baseball pitcher.
Okay.
A strong midline allows them to transfer energy efficiently from their legs through their core out to their arm,
Right.
resulting in a faster, more powerful throw.
So it's like that cannon analogy that you were talking about earlier.
Exactly.
If you have a stable base,
Yes.
you can generate more power.
More power and accuracy.
And I guess it's not just about power, is it?
No, not at all.
What about things like control and precision?
Think about a gymnast holding a handstand.
Okay.
Midline stabilization is what allows them to maintain that perfect balance
Wow.
and control.
Yeah, those gymnasts are amazing.
They are.
I could never do that.
It's pretty impressive.
But let's bring this back down to earth
Sure.
for us non-gymnasts.
Okay.
How does this play out in something like running or just everyday activities?
Well, when you think about running with each stride,
Right.
your body's essentially rotating around your spine.
Right.
And if your core's weak,
Yeah.
you lose energy with every twist and turn.
I see.
But a strong midline keeps everything nice and tight
Okay.
and aligned,
Right.
allowing for a more efficient energy transfer.
Got it.
And that ultimately improves your running economy.
So it's like having a more streamlined,
Right.
energy-efficient engine.
Exactly. And this translates to everyday activities as well.
How so?
Well, a stable core improves your posture,
Okay.
makes you stand taller, move with more grace.
I like that.
It even helps with balance and coordination, reducing your risk of falls as you age.
Okay, so it really is about
Yeah.
more than just like preventing pain.
Yes.
It's about enhancing our movement
Absolutely.
in all these ways.
It is. It's about that.
I never thought about it that way.
And that's why it's so important
So
to
good.
build that awareness of your core
Right.
and practice engaging those muscles throughout the day.
So it's kind of like a superpower
It is.
that we can unlock
Yeah.
if we do it right.
If we do it right.
But is there a downside?
That's a great question.
Like, can you overdo it with the bracing?
You know,
Like, could it make you too stiff?
like with anything, balance is key.
Okay.
You want to be so fixated on bracing that you become like
Right.
rigid and tense.
Yeah, you don't want to be like a robot
So
bumping around it.
it's about finding that sweet spot
Okay.
where you feel supported but not restricted.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, so there's a finesse to it.
Absolutely.
It's not just about being like
No.
stiff as a board.
Think about like a dancer.
Okay.
They need core strength for stability,
Yeah.
but they also need that flexibility
Right.
and grace to move with fluidity
Got it.
and expression.
So it's like
yes.
we're training our core to be both strong
Exactly.
and responsive.
Yes.
Kind of like a
Yeah.
finely tuned instrument.
It's a great analogy.
And it's not going to happen overnight, right?
No, it takes time.
Like anything worth having.
Building core strength takes time and consistency.
Okay.
So don't get discouraged
Yeah.
if you don't feel it working perfectly right away.
Right.
Just keep practicing
Yeah.
that bracing technique.
Okay.
Gradually increase the difficulty of your exercises
Right.
and pay attention to how your body feels.
So we're not going to get into the specifics of the exercises today.
Okay.
That's a whole other
It's a whole other deep dive.
deep dive.
Exactly.
But let's bring it back to our listener.
Sure.
Why should they care about this?
Yeah.
That's the ultimate payoff.
It's about more than just avoiding pain or looking good. It's about feeling confident
Right.
and empowered
Yeah.
in your body.
I like that.
It's about being able to move freely,
Hmm.
effortlessly,
Yeah.
whether you're playing with your kids,
Uh-huh.
hitting the gym,
Right.
or just going about your day.
So like improving our quality of life
Exactly.
on a very fundamental level.
It really is.
I love that.
It's about unlocking your body's full potential
Right.
and experiencing the joy of movement.
This has been a real eye-opener.
Good. I'm
I
glad.
feel like I've been underestimating the importance of my core for a long time.
It happens.
Any final words of wisdom for our listeners as they embark on their midline stabilization journey?
Remember, this is a journey, not a destination.
Okay.
Be patient with yourself.
Right.
Celebrate small victories.
Yeah.
And most importantly,
Mm-hmm.
enjoy the process of discovering your
Yeah.
body's amazing capabilities.
I love that.
It's about progress, not perfection.
Yeah. Progress, not perfection.
Exactly.
All right. So we've covered a lot today.
We have.
Let's do a little recap for our listener.
Okay.
So we talked about midline stabilization. It's essential for everybody, right?
Yeah, not just athletes.
Like, this is something that we all need.
That's only it.
And it's about protecting our spine,
Mm-hmm.
moving with more power and efficiency,
Absolutely.
and just like unlocking our body's full potential.
Yes, exactly.
So one of the things we talked about was that bracing technique,
Yeah.
engaging your core
Mm-hmm.
before every movement.
It's like a mini workout
Yeah,
throughout the day.
I like that.
Your core.
So for people who are listening who are like,
Mhm.
okay, this is great,
Yeah.
I want to take it a step further,
Yeah.
are there specific exercises
Sure.
that can help strengthen the midline?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So exercises like planks,
Okay.
bird dog,
Mm-hmm.
and Pallof presses are fantastic for
Yeah.
targeting those deep core muscles.
You can always like
Yeah.
progress.
You can progress to more challenging variations.
So as you get stronger, you can keep
Mhm.
leveling up.
Exactly.
And just like anything else, it's all about consistency.
Right? Consistency is key.
Even if it's just a few minutes every day,
Yeah. A few minutes each day
over
can
time,
make a huge difference.
it can really add up.
It really can.
Well, this has been awesome.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I feel like I've learned so much
Good.
about the importance of my core.
Yeah. It's an often overlooked aspect.
It really is. Any last words of wisdom for our listeners?
Think about the activities you love most.
Okay.
Whether it's dancing, hiking, playing with your kids, or just like
Yeah.
walking through the world.
I love that.
And imagine doing those activities with a newfound sense
Okay.
of core strength and stability.
Mm-hmm.
How would that change your experience?
I love that.
How would it make you feel?
That's what it's all about, right?
That's the power of midline stabilization.
Experiencing those things that we love
Mm-hmm.
with more freedom and confidence.
Absolutely.
So to our listeners out there,
Yeah,
you have the power to unlock this potential.
you do.
It's all within you.
It is.
Start paying attention to your core.
Yes.
Practice engaging those muscles
Mm.
and enjoy the journey
It's a journey.
of discovering a stronger, more resilient you.
Okay.
All right. That is it for today's deep dive.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you next time.